Now, the religious discrimination bill before the Parliament this week. Labor seeking to move amendments to the bill. Is the government open to looking at them?
Well, obviously negotiations are currently ongoing between the government and the opposition, as you would always expect to do about legislation. Now, where those negotiations are up to, obviously a matter for the Attorney-General and the Shadow Attorney-General.
The government's not trying to wedge Labor on this?
Look, I think the government is trying to deliver an election commitment that we took to the 2019 election. We made that commitment and we're very keen to make sure that we deliver that commitment to the people that it was promised to.
Can you see why Labor's worried about the treatment or potential discrimination as it relates to trans school students, for example?
Well, I mean, I think that it is a complex piece of legislation. What it seeks to do is to make sure that protections are put in place for people, but also to make sure that there are protections in place so that people of faith can exercise that faith, particularly as it relates to education. So I think, what we need to do is to continue to have a respectful conversation, like we should be having about all things that are before us, about how we can work to improve what we have before us so that we can make sure that Australia is the best possible place to live in the world and we keep it that way.
And for kids, obviously, as well, should children be protected regardless of their sexuality or gender identity?
Well, look, certainly what the legislation seeks to do, and I think there's been some amendments just in recent hours around making sure that it is the children that are the focus of this legislation. It is their safety, their protection, their well-being that it's the front of this legislation. And I think, most Australians, I think, would support the fact that our children are our future and they need to be protected.
And it would be good to have this outside of the realm of partisan politics. In hindsight, would it have been better had this been dealt with earlier in the electoral cycle?
Well, look, certainly your point about non-partisan politics is actually very strong. And one of the things that we went into the last national plan for ending violence against women and children was with a bipartisan approach. And I'd certainly be seeking for anybody to continue with that bipartisan approach, because party politics doesn't make one woman or child safer tonight in Australia.
Minister for Women's Safety and Families, Ruston, thanks.
My pleasure, thank you.